All right, well, we are so excited to show you guys this video tonight. Here at Turn Center, our mission is to provide outstanding therapy services while instilling hope in the families we serve. So I'm very excited and grateful that you're all here so we can give you a little bit of a glimpse into our past, present, and future, and show you a few kiddos from Turn Center that we spotlight in this video. We see about 135 kids a day in the clinic, over 500 a week walk through our doors. So we're glad we get to share a few special moments with you tonight.
I was born with mild hemiplegia, cerebral palsy, and that means that only one side of my body was really affected. When I came here, it was called the Children's Rehabilitation Center, and prior to that, it was called the Cerebral Palsy Center. And then after that, it was called Richard G. Balke, and then it became the Turn Center. But when I came here, this gym was here, but it was not like this. This looks like a playground in here. It's totally different, more colorful, younger physical therapist. I mean, it's changed so much, but I still say it's still home. It was about 50 years ago that I was a student here. They helped me walk. I mean, I was able to maintain a rather normal life, and I had a slight limp, of course, but they just helped me with my strength, my balance, my flexibility, and my confidence. Yeah, because they poured love into me, and they helped me become who I am today. The staff was so nice. They were my friends. And then I became friends with Kathy Hyatt, who was I was her first patient when she got out of PT school. And we developed a friendship, and we're still friends to this day, 50 years later. I've seen it grow. Like that lobby out there is amazing. We didn't have that. It's so colorful. The fixtures, the way you enter now, the security. And when you come out here, it's not like you're coming to therapy. It's like you're coming to just a fun place for kids. I'm an elementary teacher, first grade for 27 years. I have 2 advanced degrees. I taught at Amarillo College. 25 years. I taught first grade for 27 years. Now I'm an executive director of a nonprofit. I was once nominated for Remarkable Woman of the Texas Panhandle. I just felt like they had done so much for me in my life that it would be an honor to serve and give back. And so I just said, hey, I want to apply to be on the board. I applied, they accepted me, and for 6 years, I came and served the Turn Center.
My sister was a patient of children's rehab back in the 1980s. She began to learn to walk, a place where she was diagnosed genetically for the first time. You know, this was in the early 80s. At that time, Children's Rehab Center helped her learn to walk and kind of gave her the tools, you know, to have some freedoms that other kids had. The thing that it provided the most for them was, number one, a support system. Number two, a place of reassurance, kind of somebody that knew your situation, that cared. I think a lot of what she learned then provides her with skills to help her have independence that she otherwise wouldn't have today. Just kind of got to the point in my life where I wanted to give back, you know, and give back to a community that had given so much to me. So looking for organizations I could do that with, Turn Center was the first place on my heart of somebody, you know, an organization that cares, that gives back to not only our community, but several communities around us.
So I wanted to do something in the healthcare career, and I wanted to help others out. That's my biggest passion in life, is to help others and to, you know, just help everyone grow along the way. Occupational therapy really caught my heart because we're like teachers in a way. We get to teach others how to do different things and how to relearn things. So my first week, it was my first clinicals, didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I came here, and as soon as I walked in, I knew I was home. Like, we're all a family. Once you walk in the door, you know, you don't really have to leave everything at the door. You can come in and like chit chat with your coworkers and tell them like what you're going through. I guess it's awesome because they work collaboratively as a team. I really look up to those that have been here a long time because they have such an amazing like drive. Even the people who haven't been here a long time, just everyone has such an amazing drive to just, you know, have one goal, and it's to better the people who walk in the door. So because we are a nonprofit facility, we can do other things that supports family growth and the children's growth as well. So one of them is kids inclusion, and I've been really involved in that. I really enjoy seeing, you know, the kiddo outside of the therapy gyms or the therapy walls, just seeing them reach different milestones. I want to grow in the therapy world, and I want to be able to touch more lives.
After his first birthday, as he grew, delays became apparent, or he wasn't meeting milestones. And we were referred to the Turn Center. We heard about that through family and friends. He has a genetic mutation that affects brain development, and it's, that led to a malformation called lissencephaly pachygyria. The feedback I get at home about the Turn Center has been incredible. The strides that he's made over the previous year have been incredible to see. He's made great strides. My wife, before she takes him the night before, will ask him, "Are you ready to go see JC and Brenda?" And he smiles. And my wife has shared that he's more comfortable going there now. My wife takes our son every Tuesday for his therapies, and they foster a facility that is welcoming and comfortable for my wife and son to go to. It's something that my son and my wife look forward to every week. Within a few months of Merrick receiving therapy, they picked up on that something else could be wrong, and they prompted us to be reevaluated, and that led to us finding out his diagnosis. And without that, I don't know where we would be with his comprehensive care.
Within the last year, Merrick has made a lot of progress at the Turn Center. He's actually now pulling up on objects and hopefully getting ready to take his first steps. We're really just getting started here at the Turn Center, and I can already tell that they're going to help Merrick progress and to be the best version of himself that he can be.
On January 1st of 2025, we woke up at 5:19 to the sound of a bang on our door. It drove our dogs just went wild. And when my husband looked out the window, he noticed that the sheriff's pickup was in our front yard. So when I opened the door, it's a visual that will be etched in my mind forever. I could see her face, I could see how wide it was, and I knew that there was something wrong. And she asked me, "Do you know where Addison is?" And I said, "Well, I know where she's supposed to be." And she said she was hit by a train. And I hear my husband in the background yell, "Is she alive?" And the sheriff said, "The last I knew, she was." She said, "Get in the vehicle and follow me. I'm taking you out to the wreckage." And so we followed her, and by the time we got there, it took them 2.5 hours to remove her from the vehicle, from her pickup. And they had just gotten her into the ambulance, and we were able to see her, but she did not look well. I was in shock. When we turned right to go to the wreckage, my husband didn't understand. He thought that we were headed to the hospital. He didn't hear that we were headed to the accident itself. And so when we turned right, in his mind, he thought we were going to say our goodbyes. He didn't realize that the sheriff wanted us to go there to the accident site. And so all I could do was pray. My daughter and I just sat in the vehicle and prayed and prayed. And when we got there, the first person that I saw was the man that sat in the vehicle with Addison, and made sure that she knew that she was okay. and we spent 21 days in the surgical ICU. We had good days. We would take 2 steps forward and then we'd end up taking 5 steps back. She was non-weight bearing for 12 weeks. And so she had to learn to, one, maneuver a wheelchair because she hadn't done that. And to see the emotions, I mean, she was trying to process everything. I was trying to be a rock. I was trying to be strong, but to see sometimes defeat because she hadn't experienced that before. I had heard of the Turn Center. I didn't know a whole lot of what it was about, but when it came time for us to be dismissed from Northwest Texas Hospital, Dr. Potter was adamant that we find a location that had a swimming pool because he wanted her to be able to do the water therapy first, since she had been wheelchair bound for 12 weeks. And so we were able to get a referral here to the Turn Center. I mean, just to see the improvement that she made on a daily basis when she was in the pool. She was able to learn to stand and get her balance. And then eventually she was able to take steps inside of the pool. And I mean, just to see that she was going to be able to come back 100%. And it's because of the physical therapist here at the Turn Center that believed in her, encouraged her, and gave her 100% support, even on days that maybe she doubted herself. The bond that those two have, I think, I would say is inseparable. I mean, we didn't start out with Candy, and then when school started back up, Candy was assigned to us, and she has been absolutely phenomenal. The relationship that she and Addison have, it's just so neat to see because they are sassy with one another. They give each other a hard time, but Candy is always supportive. We graduated from the pool, and then to see Addison be able to take her first steps with a walker when she hadn't walked in, you know, it was almost 4 months by the time she was finally able to walk with a walker, and just to see what a phenomenal facility this is. You know, I look back from a year ago when my daughter was struck by a train, and we're coming up on a year of therapy here at the Turn Center. And from the first day that I walked in here till a year later, it's unbelievable the progress that we have made because of this facility.
I broke my pelvis. They had to completely redo that. I messed up my knee, broke my toe, messed up a whole bunch of stuff. I couldn't walk, I couldn't do much of anything at that point. Coming here was just, it made me happy, like being around the people that I know that may not be exactly what I was going through, but they've been going through something too. And just the staff up here have been amazing, built bonds that probably will stick with me for a long time. Just having somebody I'm comfortable with and pushing me to just be better and do what I can, even though sometimes the pushing's not easy. Candy just makes it so much easier. And it's not just, she's not just my PT, she's become a friend and somebody that has pushed me far beyond what I ever thought I could do. I get pretty upset with myself too, but with Candy and them pushing me, realize that I don't have to be so hard on myself, that it was part of the process, and everybody just pushed me to realize that it's all right to not get it the first try and work towards it, and I've seen a lot of progress. Just seeing how different it was from when I first began to walk to now, and then from what it was before the wreck is truly amazing. Showing pigs for sure, that was a big thing for me. That's how I spent all my time, and worked at the vet clinic for a little bit too, and just getting able to be back around animals without really any limitations anymore. Really going back to normal, and after being in the hospital and being up here in rehab, I'm thinking either nursing or PT is what I'm going to go pursue a degree in.
I was in 5th grade when a friend of mine had a traumatic brain injury, and she told me about physical therapy, that she had to go through it. And so from that point on, I wanted to do physical therapy. I wanted to do something that helped people, but I knew I didn't want to be a nurse. And somebody had told me about Children's Rehabilitation Center, and I ended up here in 1995. I had a student that was in the same grade as my son, and she had cerebral palsy, and she wanted to be a ballerina. And I went to her ballet recital one time, and now she teaches special education for Canyon ISD. that was a really cool story because I got to see it from the beginning all the way to her graduating. You do whatever you can because you believe in them, even if they can't believe in themselves. So they may not have that push forward, but you can believe in them and show them the little steps that they can make and remind the parents, hey, they weren't even holding their head up a month ago, and now look, he's lifting his head up. It starts little, and then you just build on those things. One of the biggest things is when it's hard, they don't want to try it. And I always tell them, we don't say, we can't. We can, and we're going to. It's just hard, and we all have to do hard things that we don't want to do. It's part of life, and you try to make it fun and make a game out of it, and laughter. Make them laugh. When I first started, we only did school-based therapy, and then we started doing some outpatient therapy. And so we literally had some bolsters, maybe a swing, and it was very small. And now we've added a big gym, the swimming pool. Turn Center provides us the support we need, and they provide us with continuing education that we need. If we're having a difficult kid, we come together and talk about it. They always have our support and support us very well in trying to make this better at everything that we're doing. It is the biggest reward to see a child that when they came in were just rolling, and that was their form of mobility, to them being able to get up from the floor to standing and maintain that balance, to then them walking, whether it's with a walker and then progressing to walking without the walker. It's amazing. It's amazing to give them that gift and to see how their families' lives are improved because they have that joy that they didn't know if their kid would walk, and now they get to see them going forth and doing what their peers are doing. There's just nothing like being a part of a group that is in it for the right reason, and that's about the kids.
I really want to thank the donors for consideration, and I just hope you know how far each dollar goes and the impact on our community and these kids.
I would like to thank the donors for helping Turn Center because you may not know today what your dollar does, but look, in the future, what can happen? It happened to me.
Everyone that donates money to the Turn Center, you have no clue the impact that you have not only on my daughter, but the other individuals that come here on a daily basis. You're changing lives.
Without the donors, they couldn't do half of what they do. They've helped kids like me and so many other kids succeed in what they've accomplished throughout this, and they're not just here to do the PT and the OT and all the other things they do. They're here to be your friend and push you and just help you get to where they know you can be.
I would like to thank the donors for their support of Turn Center because without their donation, we wouldn't be able to do and bless the families that we have without their donations. They make what we do possible to bless the families and the children that we serve.
Turn Center for me is home. Sorry. I grew up here. My sweet mom brought me every couple of days and would sit in the lobby and wait. And because of that, because of my mom bringing me here and these therapists working with me, I'm who I am today.
I hope that Turn Center is around for years and years to come, to bless the families. I'm gonna miss seeing my sweet little kiddos and the families and the friendships of my coworkers. It's a great place to come work. It's a great place to do your entire career, to get to be a part of a community that is so well knit together.